Good morning, afternoon, evening, or nighttime, wherever and whenever you may be watching. Thanks for clicking. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be comparing Dior Homme Intense, the slightly newer version, with Dior Homme Parfum. Can't believe I actually got a bottle of this. I won't be going through the notes in this video, so feel free to check out online the differences in the notes. I'll just be trying them on each separate hand and just giving my honest opinion. Dior Homme Intense I've had for probably nearly a year, I would guess. So very familiar with this scent, and I did own it before then as well. It was like the older formulation. This is kind of the newer one because it has the Dior Homme Intense on the cap. Just the colour of the juice as well, if you're interested. Great. Great stuff. Brings back a lot of memories for me, this fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that stands out in a designer world. It's just kind of surprising that it did so successfully as a designer, because it has that iris, which is the key player in the, it seems, I think the key player in the Dior Homme line. The iris giving it that lipstick, makeup bag kind of vibe. It's so great. Yeah, it's hard to explain. If you've smelled it, you probably already know. I would imagine it's a Marmite fragrance, though. I would imagine some people love it, some people hate it, but it's got a ton of memories for me, mainly when I went to Paris. This was, I think, the only fragrance that I took. It's so great. Perhaps the only downside is hot weather. This wouldn't work, in my opinion, but I'm from the UK, so I can still use this 95% of the time. But yeah, I am quite familiar with the smell. So the thing I'm interested in is smelling Dior Homme Parfum to see how it compares. So the big moment, Dior Homme Parfum. As I said at the start of the video, I don't know how clear you can see it, but the juice is a lot darker in this, which is kind of what I expected. Obviously, just to say, this is a 100ml bottle. This is a 50ml bottle. The 100ml bottle, there's been talk about it being discontinued and things like that. This you can still find on Dior's website for about £135 for 100ml. It does sell out quite a lot, but it seems to still keep coming back. So it is there. Let's try it on the other hand. The cap's on, much more snugly than Dior Homme Intense. Okay. Mad. Mad. I'm not sure what to say. Kind of speechless. I said at the start that it's kind of a first impression. Obviously, I smelled this years ago when it first came out, which I think was like 2017, 2018, and then the whole thing where it got discontinued for a number of years. And then when this came in the post, I couldn't help myself. I did spray it in the air, but I haven't sprayed it like directly on skin. Wow. So intense and rich and dark. Sorry, I just felt like I needed a minute there to collect my thoughts, just to let it sit. I know this may come across as super nerdy to someone who's not into fragrances, but it was just like a sensory overload then. It was a lot to take in. This is a perfect example of when you release a fragrance under a new concentration, slightly different name, and it remains, you know, that the DNA is still there, but it's got something more, it's got a bit more oomph about it. There's been a lot of times fragrances have come out as an eau de toilette, and then further down the line, they come out as an eau de parfum or a parfum, and I don't know, I just find them too similar to the original. This isn't. This is definitely different enough to be from a Dior Homme Intense to a Dior Homme Parfum. My cat's crying? Who knows? Maybe that's because of the smell in the air. Who knows? Don't let that put you off, though. It's just so, like... I think there's an aspect there, there's a tinge there of slightly something medicinal. Like, you know, I was saying Dior Homme Intense has the makeup bag vibe and the lipstick. That's there. But there's something like so dark and so concentrated that it's got a slight tinge of medicinal, maybe like clove or something like that it's putting me in the mind of. Wow, it's just so intense. It's so beautiful and dark and deep. I think there is a reason to have them both, though. I know this is still there, but I am struggling to smell it now because I think my nose hairs and the receptors in my nose have just clinged onto this, and it's there. It is there. But I think what I'm saying is this Dior Homme Intense would be perfect for sort of that casual sort of thing. You know, you don't want to sort of overpower a situation, whereas the Dior Homme Parfum is a bit of a showstopper, in my opinion. Which is saying something because Dior Homme Intense is already very unique. But Dior Homme Parfum is a showstopper. You're going to turn heads for better or for worse. You're going to have people wanting to know what you smell like. Just be careful on the sprayer, because that was one spray and it's everywhere. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Just a quick sort of first impression comparison between Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum. At the moment, if I only had to pick one, I'd be going with the Dior Homme Parfum. It's just fuller, round, you know, more rounded. Like I said, a showstopper. But this is great. This stuff is also great. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a proper review on this one. And maybe I may change my mind. You know, maybe this doesn't go away. Who knows? Let me know, guys, if you've tried either of these or both of them and how you think they compare. Catch you on the next video. Peace!